Okay, I've got a project going on this morning. As you know, or I guess you might not remember, but as we have said, our little goats here, Buckets and Czarina, who are happily eating the wood here, are due to kid any day now. Being the first time when they had kids, we were inexperienced. We learned from that experience, and what we learned is that 4-foot walls do not, and I repeat, do not hold in kids beyond a week or so at the very most. Because, I mean, it's like almost from the day that they are born, they have little springs on them. So, being inexperienced and being the recycler that I am, I took some pallets that the lumber store had given me and an old cabinet and took it apart and just, put it together with some posts that I put into the ground and using the end posts in the goat house, figuring that'll be good enough to hold the little goats in while I'm milking and stuff, because if you haven't ever had any little kids around when you're milking, or kids as in goat kids, they are worse than the little two-legged kids. They are just all over the place causing chaos constantly. And so what was happening is I was trying to milk, and we had one, they would jump up on the milk stand, or they would nibble on my hair, or they would get in the feed. They were constantly doing something. And you'd put them in the little pen here, or what we call the kidding area, but again, we use it to lock it up. We've got hay waiting for our little newborns here that we'll put out just before they're born so it's fresh. And anyway, so I came up with what I usually do, a makeshift idea on how I could not take down this whole area, but just close it in a little better. And I know that I need probably 5 foot, 6 foot height, okay, like I have back over here. And another thing, it keeps the chickens from trying to roost when it's when you get up to the taller pickets of 6 foot. So I figured, well, that was a fence piece that I'd gotten from my mother, so I could pretty much do the same thing, except I don't need to buy a completed fence piece since I have this part down here. I just bought some fence pickets. They cost $2.29 a piece. Cedar, because I want something that's not going to rot on me. They cost $2.29 a piece, and I'll just add those on. I figured that's, the best, the cheapest, the lightest route, because a lot of times hubby's working and I have to try to do this stuff by myself. So that's what we're going to do today. Okay, let's see if we can do this without the goats knocking anything down here, because, they will come and want to help, which is what they're best at. So I've got one picket already up, and I'm just going to line them with just a little bit of space, because you know how it is. It will expand and contract, and so just like with anything, you want to leave just a little bit of space, okay? And this is not anything fancy, like I said. It's practical. It's hopefully at 6 feet tall, going to keep those little spring-loaded boogers in where they belong. And I lined it up where I know I've got a picket back here. There we go. And I used 1 1/4 inch because these are, I think they're like 1 inch pickets thick. It's 1 by 6 by 6 is what I believe they are. So I figured I have my handy dandy, and I'm not advertising here. It just happens to be, I really like it. It's a Black & Decker 12 volt cordless. And I like it even better because I got it free with my Ace Rewards, so I just love free better than I just love free. It just makes it so much easier when, you have so many other expenses when you're trying to do with what you have. And we're going to put some down on the bottom. And it shouldn't take a whole lot. I'm going to put, since we're doing just on the bottom half, about 4 to 6 screws. They seem pretty sturdy, so we'll just try 4. If I need to, I can always come out and plunk a couple more in, but I'm thinking 4 will probably be okay. So I'll check back and show you what's going on when I get it done. Okay, so you get the gist of it. It's kind of like just building a fence onto an existing short wood fence. Not only, I need one more picket here on the end, as you see. Not only is this going to help keep the little ones in, but it can at times, because it's taller, help keep the mamas in too. And I'm hoping, we don't have a lot of really cold days here. And you see I started on the little gate too. We don't have a lot of really cold days here, but occasionally it does drop down pretty cold. And last year we had some days that are colder than what is normal for us. So anyway, it'll add a little bit of warmth to them too. So I had 10 pickets, and I figure I'm probably going to need about 6 more. So, you know, pretty easy project. The whole thing so far has taken me like 30 minutes, you know, and that included carrying the wood over. So it's fast and it's easy, and it's easy for me. I can do it by myself. I had thought about just getting some plywood, which if you get, you know, plywood, you have to get the stuff that's treated to go outside. This is natural. I don't have to worry about if the goats chew on it, and it shouldn't rot because, you know, it's cedar. And not just that, but I didn't want it 8 foot high, which, you know, normal sheets of plywood come in either 4 or 8, or you have to have it special cut. This is 6 foot. And then I have, I don't know if you can see it up there, I have a solar light that I use when I'm milking at night in the winter, because it gets dark so quickly. So I got a really great deal on this one, and it's not just your typical little bitty solar light. This is a solar guard light, and they quit selling them at the place where I got it. I can't remember offhand where it was, but I mean seriously, it was like $30-some and a couple of dollars. And this thing will light up a room like no tomorrow. It is not your typical solar light, I'll just tell you that. And it comes with a full panel, and you can't see maybe just off the edge of the roof there. You can just see where we have the wire running up, but it sits up on the roof, and it's got a panel that's about probably 8 inches wide by maybe 18 inches long. So it's a decent panel, and it works really well. And you can set it to either stay on constantly, so when I'm out here milking, I'll turn it to stay on. And when I'm not, then I just set it to motion sensor. And because I know that the chickens go to sleep at night at a certain time, so if anything's creeping around that shouldn't be, it'll set off the light. And it doesn't bother the goats, because they pretty much have figured out what sets it on and off. So anyway, little project, just thought I'd let you know what's going on. And here's Arena inspecting my handiwork. Zarina, buckets, any comments? This should help keep the goats out of your way too, girls. All right, checking out.